My 19F boyfriend, 18M, was too rough and now I have bruises. Am I being dramatic? For context, my boyfriend and I have been together for a little over a year. When we first started dating, our sex life was crazy. I mean multiple times a day if we could, but absolutely once a day bare minimum. My boyfriend has a really high drive, but within the last few months, I've had basically no desire to do it. A lot of it just boils down to a lot of stress in my life and how busy I've been, making the deed the last thing on my mind at any given time. Over the weekend, my family was out of town so my boyfriend slept over. By this point, it had been over a month since we'd been intimate, and he had a small chat with me about it saying he's a young man, he does have a pretty high drive, and his physical needs aren't fully being met at the moment. I totally understood and tried to explain my side of the story, and all was well. So, we're in bed, and he wants to be intimate. I wasn't super keen on it at first but I ended up saying yes. Now, one thing you'll need to know for the rest of this post is that my boyfriend is a real freakball. Like, super freak. He likes our intimacy to be rough and fast and whatnot. Anyways, we do it and I go to the bathroom, and I realize I have a big old bruise across my neck from where his hand was. The next morning, I was doing my makeup and realized my neck wasn't the only place that was bruised. I had purple dots all over the rest of my neck, my jaw, under my chin, up my cheeks, and even burst blood vessels on the skin under my eyes. I talked to him about it and he was really sorry, told me he had a lot of sexual frustration pent up, and that he didn't mean to hurt me. I 100% believe him, but now I'm almost a little bit scared that even when he wasn't trying to hurt me, I ended up really bruised and sore. Is this something I should be worried about for the future? Are location flag waving? Or is it not a big deal and I'm being dramatic? Hi, older nurse here. The bruising and small red, purple dots with the burst blood vessels are textbook signs of strangulation. There's a thin line between rough consensual sex and violence. Please take some time to check in with yourself and your feelings after this event. Is this the type of intimacy you're looking for? Sounds like he was literally strangling you, and nearly to death if you had burst vessels and huge bruises. You need to find someone who will respect your body, your desires, and your life. You're literally in danger of dying if you stay with this man. I don't think the tension he had built up was sexual. He just used you as a punching bag, which is scary. He's not a super freak, he's just super violent. Please run far away and lock the door. Why is sex a frustration release for him at all? Why is he using your body to relieve that? What would he do if you were sick and couldn't have sex for many months? Would he cheat, or would you end up with a broken bone? His attitude about sex overall gives me chills. I used to accept it when I was younger, but never again. I thought I was an equal participant, but it turned out I was just agreeing to be used 8 times out of 10. Sex doesn't have to include pain, you aren't overreacting. He sounds like he watches a lot of porn and tries to act it out. It's giving, uses you as a sex doll, rather than intimate loving relationship. And that's before the fact that he hurt you. You're not being dramatic at all. This is not okay. My F29 boyfriend, M31, of 5 years won't commit. How do I make him hear me? Me and my partner have been together 5 years. While there have been rocky moments in our relationship, we love each other and want to be together. However, he never talks about a future with me. Not even, I can't wait until we're at X place or have X sort of life. When I bring up the topic he gets annoyed and tells me he doesn't want to put a timeline on things, and to stop putting pressure on him. He only ever states that he wants to be in a secure place financially before we settle down, but I don't know when that will be. We also live in London together and own property here. When we first started dating, we talked about moving abroad together and experiencing new jobs and cultures in Asia or America. However, we're still in the city now because of his job. He's an entrepreneur and works a lot, being out many nights during the week for work events and drinks. His job is really important to him, and is his #1 priority always. I always wanted to live in a different country for a few years before settling down. I dreamed of being married by 28 and starting a family before 30. He knows this and always has, but still sticks to wanting to settle or travel when he's secure. I often find myself waiting at home for him, not wanting to organize social events of my own so that I can see him when he's free. While home I do 95% of household tasks, I organize most of our date nights and social events. He'll cook sometimes for me, organize a rare date night, usually I've to ask, he'll clean the dishes sometimes. But I have even to ask him to do nice basic things like buy me ice cream at the shop when I am on my period or flowers. Things I've expressed multiple times I like, though aren't his love language. I really do love him and really want a future with him. But I feel like my life is being wasted waiting for him to prioritize me or care about me, my needs, and about having a family, living a life beyond work. I don't know what to do. I've let him know how I'm feeling and that I'm getting to the point of being done. How do I make him realize I'm serious and approach this conversation so he hears me? He's heard you every time you've spoken about this. He just doesn't want what you want and is hoping you'll never act on actually leaving him. Girl, he knows and hears you, he just doesn't give a fuck. Deal with it or leave. He hears you, babe. He just doesn't care. It sounds like what he has come to understand is that you are willing to wait forever. Is that true? Are you? If not, what does the timeline look like for you? This sounds so much like my ex. I was with him for almost 7 years before the fog finally lifted. He also wouldn't commit and was always very vague. It took him 4 years to commit to living together. After that, he finally came clean and told me he never had any intention of getting married, despite telling me regularly that he wanted marriage one day. His job was also his first priority, so every weekend I was either alone or third-wheeling with someone else, which was a horrible feeling. I finally broke up with him when he admitted that I wasn't even in his top 5 priorities. His brother's girlfriend at the time rated ahead of me. My only regret is that I didn't see the light sooner and wasted most of my 20s with someone who didn't respect me. He knows and doesn't care. He knows you aren't going anywhere. Hey guys, 23 female. Think I caught my boyfriend, 25 male, cheating? Hi guys. I knew Reddit was one of those websites for relationship advice without alerting my boyfriend, so I made an account to ask you guys. I first made an account and immediately posted this, but my account was too new, and blocked my post, so here I am again. A new account and username they required me to use. Reddit has also been glitching for me, so I feel like I might have accidentally posted it more than once. Anyways, I really need advice right now and feel like crying. I'm doing this on my laptop, so my boyfriend thinks I'm working since I'm on it all the time. This happened a few nights ago and I've been contemplating asking anyone apt it yet, so here we go. A few nights ago, my boyfriend came home very suspiciously late. He looked exhausted and when I asked him why he'd been so late, he brushed it off and said it was apt work. I trusted him. We've been together for 3 years. We've been talking apt marriage for a while, but aren't engaged or official yet. Anyways, I hadn't thought anything of it. He went to sleep while I stayed downstairs and watched This Is Us by myself. This is unrelated, but I need some honest reviews on the show. He left his phone on the kitchen counter, and I noticed it was going off like crazy. Every few seconds it would go off, so I checked it. It was this girl I had met a few times before, and my boyfriend said she was an old school friend. But the texts were like this: "Why aren't you responding, babe?" and "I miss you already." I'm not even joking, she was sending them non-stop. I immediately put the phone down and went back to watching the show. I could not process anything I had read. I broke down silently crying on the couch. I was devastated. I didn't confront him or anything. I haven't told anyone yet, so I really need advice on what to do. I love him so fucking much that I'm scared to leave him. He's the nicest person ever and I can't believe he would do something like that, let alone cheating. I want to sit in a corner and cry for the rest of my life. What do I do? Please help. Opening parenthesis. Too long did not read. I found my boyfriend texting another girl. What do I do? You're still so young to live with this blatant level of disrespect. I'm really sorry, op. Well, he is cheating, whether you admit it or not. A guy who is faithful to his woman wouldn't entertain others to risk losing you. If you want to sacrifice your inherent dignity and allow this to continue hurting you, that's on you. At least you know the truth now though. He does not love you enough not to sleep with other women and lie to your face. Pack your things when he is not around and leave. Ghost him. It will hurt for a while, but believe me, in the end you will realize it was the best thing you could have ever done. I miss you already means he was with her physically. Sex physically. Sorry to be so blunt, but you seem to be in denial. There is nothing you can do but save yourself more pain and misery and leave. Leave him. I know that's easier said than done, but he will cheat again and he will keep disappointing you. If you keep trusting him even after you finally confront him and y'all stay together, I can guarantee he will disappoint you again. If he really cared about and loved you, he wouldn't risk losing you for anything. I am sorry he was so careless with your relationship. I hope you have strength when you confront him. I always say, what advice would you give your daughter? If you saw the texts, you need to move on. You're still so young. Don't waste time on a man that doesn't deserve it. He was the nicest person ever. There you go, I corrected for you. You are 23, you won't die if you break up. He is disrespecting you. If you forgive him now, he will continue to cheat on you and you won't even try to hide it, because you will become his bangmaid for sure. And get ready for him to deny everything, the love bombing and the gaslighting. Be strong, GG, girl. F20, suddenly lost my libido and my boyfriend, M27, isn't doing good with it. Any advice? Edit. I know our age gap is strange and I'll for sure be thinking about it. I apologize for being rude to anyone. It's been the norm for me for years and it turns my world upside down to think my relationship with the person I love most could be problematic. Thank you to those who pointed it out to me. Hi, I'm F20. Having issues in my intimate life with my partner, M27. We'll have been dating for almost 2 years at the start of 2025. Our relationship started off great. We were having those especially intimate moments together fairly often, but suddenly my libido has completely dropped after getting a new apartment. It's been 6 months since we moved in and at first things were normal, but recently my body seems incapable of allowing itself to give in and just relax. I don't know what the issue is at all and my boyfriend tells me he still loves me and I 100% believe him, but I know it hurts him because his love language is physical touch and it hurts me too because I love being close to him like that. I just don't understand what's suddenly so wrong with me. I don't know how to go about this with him. We've talked about it a lot and the issue can never seem to resolve. I'm attempting to get a therapist to comb through the possible reasons for why this may be happening, but until then I don't know how he and I can work through it together healthily until that happens. Any advice? 18 and 25 is gnarly. Moving in with someone can definitely affect libido. Are there other areas of the relationship that you're noticing problems with? Are you guys still enjoying personal time away from each other, etc.? So you were 18 when he was 25, lol dudes gross. His love language being touch does not mean it has to be sex. Separate from that, if you're not interested in PIV, that still leaves many other ways to enjoy or please your partner sexually. If you're just suddenly uninterested in anything sexual with your partner, or anyone else, then discuss medication and/or other external changes with a doctor. Shame on a 25-year-old man for going after an 18-year-old. That is absolutely not okay. Stay safe. See a therapist. 18 and 25. I'm 25 and I don't care to even interact with a teenager because what do I have in common with one?